down. 'Cause honey, your leaving's killing me. We put these walls up together and they still stand tall. But every loose board on this hardwood floor screeches out of memory. And I can't go on like this, just dwelling on a used to be. I can fix these halls and patch these walls, but there's no patching up you and me. There's a memory in every single room. I can't seem to get rid of you. A two-story reminder of a love that didn't work out. I'm gonna have to burn this house down. I guess I'm gonna need to pack up a few things. Whatever don't break my heart to see. Looking around, I don't see much that's been untouched. Everything must go, pictures and clothes, and I guess I don't need this key. 'Cause I can't go on like this, just dwelling on a used to be. I can fix these halls and patch these walls, but there's no patching up you and me. There's a memory in every single room. I can't seem to get rid of you. A two-story reminder of a love that didn't work out. I'm gonna have to burn memories till there's nothing but ash. I'm starting fresh, yeah, I'm starting from scratch. 'Cause I couldn't go on like that, just dwelling on you and me. I could have tried to pretend, say that it could have been fixed when I knew damn well that it couldn't be. With an old matchbook and a can of gas, I said goodbye to what we had. Two-story reminder of a love that didn't work out. I knew I had to burn this house down. Oh yeah, I knew I had to burn this house down. I guess I'm gonna have to burn this house down.
That's right. You're going to have to burn it down. Everyone, you're listening to Big Blend Radio's Happy Hour show with Nancy and Lisa, and you just heard Burn This House Down, the current single from Jeremy Parsons' latest album called Things I Need to Say. And he has stuff to say, and you got to listen to the album because it's a beautiful album, and it gets into the nitty-gritty of life, and it just flows really well. It's just really well done, and you're going to dig it from the first song and like it all the way to the end. Go to jeremy-parsons-music.com. Jeremy, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Oh, such a good energy today. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Hey, it's Monday and we have happy hour. Come on. Isn't that the way we should do it?
I could use more happy hours on Monday. That's that day that just gets me every week.
And then we're like, no, let's flip it upside down.
You just, jump start it.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I want to talk about the music, but this is very important. First question, how is Thunder?
Thunder is a superstar, and he's always good. We actually we just took a nap together a little bit ago. Actually, he has.
And so everybody, Thunder is his cat. Okay, so I just want to make sure they.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I know it don't matter, but I'm just saying so everybody knows, who Thunder is. But Thunder is he makes a lot of rounds on social media.
What does he look like?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's a
he's big, and he is I know he's part bobcat, so like that
Ooh,
explains
wow.
his size. Like I'm 6'1", and on like he covers most of my lap, so it's which he loves to do because he's almost like a dog. We get along entirely too well.
Does he growl?
There's another cat running around the house too. I wouldn't say it's a growl. It's more like a very quick I hate you kind of noise, you know.
Okay.
We had a cat in South Africa that ran into our house. We opened the door and he ran in, ran up the chimney, fell down and passed out, and he had no hair and he looked like a rat.
Mm-hmm. Nelson.
And we put him in a shoebox and kept him on my desk and kept him warm and bottle fed him milk and stuff because we're like, what?
And it wasn't normal. He was like, did not have normal teeth.
No, and we're like, what is this? So he took it to a veterinarian and he goes, that's a cat, sort of, mixed with a lynx. And I'm like, a lynx? We're in Africa. What are you talking about?
Caracals.
Yeah, and he grew up with big tufts on his ears and the meanest badass cat ever.
Yeah, he liked Nancy and I, but if anybody touched him, he would
don't touch
go for the kill. So
yeah, and he growled.
Yeah, that's why we're. So Thunder, does Thunder is he friendly to people?
Yeah, he's a ham. Like that's one of the things. It's hit or miss. It's like most cats, you know. They decide what they want to do and when they're going to do it. And, But he's definitely more open to. Well, he's more of like a cat dog, so to speak. Cat dog.
Now, does he drool? That's important.
Yeah.
Does he drool when it comes to food?
He's disgusting. He
looks like a drool cat.
He does that dog part.
Yeah, but I love the drool cats. They're the coolest because they've got that balance. Yeah, they're not so full into themselves.
It's cool unless he's like sleeping on top of your chest and you start petting him and he's just like drooling on you. You know, it's cute to a point.
Okay, so listen, you can burn the house down, but not with Thunder in the house.
No.
Okay, that can happen. Or the other cat.
No. Houses don't burn when cat drool is involved. That's for sure.
That's a good one. I love that. So Nashville, you're based in Nashville, but you were born and raised in San Antonio with the Missions and the Alamo and you know that area.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Spurs, our basketball team down there. Yeah, it's a big city, and that has a lot to do with my my musical interest and influence and stuff. When I was a teenager and in high school, I had the red dirt scene came down from Oklahoma, and that was a lot of what ended up being Texas country. Was very popular at that time, and was very influential for me as a writer. Specifically because a lot of those guys were writing and playing their own music and just making a killing off of it. It was really cool to be a part of it. It was an infectious era, and that it kind of caught on with me, and eventually landed me up here.
Wow, it's interesting because there's always been a migration from south up into kind of like the heartland of America in some way, you know. Even look at the blues scene and how, you know, it goes from, you know, Mississippi, Louisiana, then it migrated up into Chicago, you know. When you think about that, like there's a history in different how music migrates. It's about people. And I think music always, you know, tells a history of what's going on and who we are.
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely. Sound travels. Yeah, that's for sure.
Lisa.
Damn sure it does. Just ask our neighbors. So let's talk about the album. Things I Need to Say. Like, I think we've all been there, and I had to go, I just wanted to be Valley Girl for a second. I can't even do it right. But there is that point in life where you go through things, and I think that is such an interesting album title because it's like, can we just say this now? Can we have this conversation? I need to say this. Sometimes it's positive. Sometimes it's like, dude, I really need to, we need to, you know, talk about this, you know. And then sometimes it's like, I haven't said this to you, and I wanted to say it for so long, and it's positive, it's romantic. Where did all this come from for you? Because there's a lot of emotional, relationship-y things going on The album.
Yeah, and that's I mean that's what it is. Like life is like you said, it's full of that stuff, and it's full of relationships. I enjoy meeting new people and everything. This one hit a little bit closer to home, I guess, pun intended. My parents went through a divorce after 48 years of marriage.
Oh.
And I was adopted by my grandparents, so there was already like some weird things every once in a while that identity crisis wise as a son and them as my parents, we worked through it. But this was one of those things that I never thought about, didn't prepare for it. Like they were my whole my empire of love and my definition of love, so to speak, and that kind of crumbled overnight. And
wow.
It's a lot of me working through that as a person and as an adult, because I'd already like laid down my platform pretty much, and the platform falls out from underneath you. I'm not going to let it ruin me, but I gotta struggle to get back to a new platform
and channel the energy and the emotions through somewhere.
And it's important, music and art, that portrays this to other people. So people going through the same thing
can identify,
can feel like, okay, I'm not alone, so I can actually negotiate through this. I can pull myself together and get back and try to live on in a good way. I think that's what the arts is so. That's why it's so important.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's kind of the flagship of don't give up to people.
Humanity. It's human spirit.
Because things like that happen to people all the time.
Mhm. And that's what I think. Your album to me is technically perfect. Dynamically perfect, and yet this warmth. There's technical players, and then there's the heart players, but you have this merge of both, which I think is really, that's the best, man. That's amazing.
It's
very
believable.
Yeah, you feel like you're sitting down, hearing, listening, identifying, and you can keep it to yourself or you can share it, but there's this, like, you can make it your own as a listener, and I think that's an important quality for an album where this is my album. you know what I mean? As a listener, when you just claim it.
I appreciate y'all saying that. Yeah, it means a lot, because when you sit down to write a song, you're trying to get something out of you, something that's bothering you, or something you might need to say, or just anything like that. But at the end of the day, I enjoy making music for people who, like you said, are feeling the same thing. It's that empathy, and it's musical therapy, and we all can bond over it. It's a glue that holds us all together.
You can bond over it, you can channel it, and at the same time it makes it so you don't completely lose it. You know what I mean? Where it can get you through things. And, it adds some comfort. It's the pillow to the drama, music is.
Oh, absolutely,
And it can maintain the pillow. Yeah, and that's an important thing in all spheres of life. Now, are you working on another album? I just feel like it's time. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, that's always the toughest part. Is as soon as you finish one, you're like, all right, let's do the next one. It's like, shouldn't we give this one attention? It's like, oh, you're right, my bad. I'm always writing, and I'm conceptually, yes, I'm ready for the next album. And it's always, like I said, it's tough, but I want to make sure that the things I need to say gets the attention it deserves. But I'm definitely. I would say I'm probably 3 or 4 songs away from having the next album completely written.
Wow, how cool.
So what triggers in your mind, what triggers you to go, oh, man, I need to write a song about that?
I think it's just I like to go out, like if I have days off, or even when I'm playing, like I meet all kinds of people, and I think it's all situational. Like someone will say something, and I'll look at a person, or I'll see something, and it usually stays with me. And I think that's like a seed that gets planted, and at some point, like a little plant pops out of that, and then blooms from it as a song. I feel like, and it finds me, so to speak. It's all just this. It's always been something that has just ended up like right at my feet, and I have this melody and this hook or something. Things I need to say. The title track is an example of that. I was struggling with coming up with what this album meant to me. I knew what it meant to me. I could feel it, but I didn't know how to say it. And I woke up in the middle of the night one time and was like, what is this album to me? I was like, this is just a bunch of things I need to say. It's not that I want to say. I do want to say them, but I needed to say them too. And I sat down and that song just poured out of me, and I took it to my producer, and I was like, this is it. This is what we're doing. This is what it's about.
I like that because you do get to that point because you can't move forward until that happens. That's that.
Yeah.
Like that,
oh, absolutely.
That's that other brick in the wall to move forward. Now, the song after that on the album, Why Is the Bluebird Blue? It feels so old school traditional. Like it just feels and so comforting and quizzical and just it just like tell us about that because it just feels really back in the day. Like I feel like I should be out on a farm and look out the window kind of deal. I don't know. It just feels really good.
Well, like I said, I was adopted by my grandparents, and my dad was he's a huge traditional country fan, and one of the first voices that ever I can remember jumping out at me was Hank Williams Sr. And I loved his just everything that he did, like from just his vocal delivery, his emotional delivery, and just the way that he wrote he was a prophet and a poet type guy. He was phenomenal, and I just fell in love with it. And that's like an homage to his influence. That era for me was like nature is I love it. Like it's the opening line is I look out my window and what do I see? I find myself every morning drinking coffee, like just watching the world go by, and that's one of those things. It's like why is the bluebird blue is a question that we would like sit out, look on a rainy day, and be like, why am I so sad today? It's why is the bluebird blue? Why is the sky blue?
It's important because if people lose that, then we're done. Like we're not thinking anymore, and we're not connecting anymore. And I love that because Nancy and I, we're such a huge nature people. We have a campaign to get people to go take a 1 hour walk at least once a week. 3 times a week is best, and the daily is really good. And just so that there's that mental mindset, like a mindfulness that when you walk, you create. It's a creative space. It's a healthy thing, number one, for everybody.
You see more than when you drive.
And not with your phone in hand unless you're going to take a picture and send it to us on Facebook.
Then you can do that. But
other than that, there's something about taking a walk and actually looking at what is that plant. I don't know what that plant is. Let's look it up. Why does it belong there? Does it belong there? I think maybe that's part of the reason I identified too with that.
We do a lot of like the same walks, and we have birds and rabbits that follow. Like they're like, oh, it's them. It's cool.
Oh yeah,
they can walk with us. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the ultimate creatures of habit for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you this because now we got into that zone.
Yeah.
I know we have the happy hour question, so this, we're going to play that, but this is a different one. If you could take a 1 hour walk, we're going to talk about who you want to have happy hour with. This is two different things. If you could take a happy hour, a happy hour walk. No, just a 1 hour walk with someone, anyone, alive or passed on, who would it be and where would that walk be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It is different than happy hour. Yeah.
Okay. Since we just talked about him, I would say I would like to take a walk with Hank Williams Sr. around his boyhood home in Georgiana, Alabama. It's a very small town, and I've gotten to play down there before for Hank Williams Festival, and there's train tracks and stuff, and it'd be just I couldn't imagine just like the wisdom you could get from a man who had experienced an era and defined a sound like that.
Yeah. He did, and he had a hard time going through all of that too. I mean, it's like I would want to sit down and even the kids. Like, do you ever listen to Hank III? Do you ever listen to him, or do you like him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I've worked with him before too.
Oh wow, because he calls shots against what's going on in the industry too. Like that's one thing I like about him. He wants it to, from what I've You've worked with him, which is going to be different with everything I've read and heard. It seems, and his music, he's like, hey, this is not right anymore. What are you doing? We need to have things, have integrity back in music, in country music.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's a voice for a lot of people who feel the same way too. So it's like, he's very much like his grandpa in that way. He's a purist as far as the music goes, for sure.
Now, I know you've done a lot of travel. You've played around the country in Europe. Was it solo gigs? Tell us about your travels.
The Europe stuff was really cool. They flew us over there and treated us like kings and queens, and we were over there for about a week and a half and got to go in the fjords. We were in Norway.
Awesome.
Stavanger, I believe it was. I know I'm butchering that word, but it's embarrassing every time. But it was beautiful, okay. And they were so good to us, and they provided us a band and everything. All we had to bring was our guitars, and which was funny. There's a slight language barrier that as far as band rehearsals go, I was trying to explain to them, because we have the Nashville number system here. It's like 1-4-5, and they were like, we don't know what that is. And I'm like, it'd be like if you're playing in G, it's GCD. Like,
it's chord progression stuff.
Oh, wow, but the timing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're trying to get it all down and like convert it and stuff. It would like me bringing the conversion thing for my computer adapter or something.
Oh my gosh! But you're having to do it through. Oh my gosh, through runs. Funny. That's a whole different thing. So when you say they, us and we, who was with you? I mean, is this your band, or like were you touring with another band?
We basically it was a bunch of. It was like we did it kind of like an old school traveling Opry. It would be me and like 5 or 6 other artists, like front singers, like different singers, like Mo Bandy and Jet Williams and different people like that. Some of the older acts, I believe it was, and traditional country acts, and we all just met at the airport in the morning. They flew us over there and took care of us very well. But we all had like a 30-minute set on different days, but the rest of the time you got like people would take you out and show you the cities, and that stuff is like, it just looks so old and beautiful, and like the air feels cleaner and the food is cleaner. It was just. I loved it. I love traveling so much. It's perfect for this job too, because you get to see so many different things, different people, and just you get to grow. You get to expand your horizons, and I love doing that stuff.
Yeah, us too.
You get a world vision.
Yeah.
And it's so different. Mm-hmm. Like, we're always astounded when somebody tells us, like, I was born in the city, and I'm in my parents' house or my grandparents' house, and I've always lived in this one place. And I think that's really, really interesting. Mm-hmm. But I also was like, wow, man.
And they can teach you stuff that you don't learn from. There's like this interesting
detail stuff that's really interesting. And then on the other hand, there's let's just go here, go here, go here. There's value in both, and when the two sets can sit down and talk, I think you can make changes because you can relate.
Yeah, I think people that don't travel, how do you not want to burn the house down? I'm just saying.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, they must have figured something out that we haven't yet.
Yeah, because to be able to stay there through whatever happens in a town, especially small town drama and stuff, like you have to sit there and you're going to stay through it no matter what, and that takes.
But
cojones.
You might act differently because you do have to stay there, or
maybe
you think you have to.
But if you know that you can keep blowing town after town, how is your attitude going to be?
Well, hello. Yeah. How's the hotel room after you leave?
Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, don't be burning down any hotels either. That's way more expensive, I feel like.
You should take that good nature everywhere you go, because travel...
I'm just going back to the 60s when rock bands went from hotel to hotel and trashed them, and it was almost like a competition of who could trash it the worst.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah. There was a lot of things involved in those situations, though.
Yeah, there's a lot. They were having more than a happy hour, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That in
For
those
sure.
days, for sure. Okay, now I want to know about the Devil's Daughter and Lisa's Lost. Is the Devil's Daughter Lisa? Like, you know?
Oh, you trying
No,
to
no,
the devil?
Lisa and the Devil's Daughter are two different two different people actually. Lisa is a real person whose name is not Lisa. I changed the name to protect the innocent, so to speak. It was someone that was a weird thing that happened. I was really kind of just sitting there, and someone just came up next to me, and I've always had this gift, so to speak. I call it a gift because I'm able to apply it towards things like that, like songwriting. Came up to me and had a very terrible day, and opened up to me about a very, very dark and twisted past that I was, you know, I'm like, I'm sitting here like eating chips, drinking a Sprite, like type of day. I'm chilling, and then someone drops this heavy bomb on me, and I'm not hungry anymore. Push the chips and the Sprite aside, and I'm a psychiatrist now for this person who just needs to vent, and I gave them that gift, and they gave me the gift of this song idea.
Oh wow! So you
Lisa's
both vented.
Lost. Yeah.
Wow.
You
Oh,
both
absolutely.
vented. That's a
Yeah.
double venter. I like that, and I think it's neat too. I mean, because you have a very, you know, looking at your photos, you have a very open person. Like your photo. I haven't met you in person, but from what I can see, it looks like you're just one of these people that you could just sit down and talk to. Like you have a very open look. You look like a very open person. You do, and so there's going to be a lot of songs coming.
Yeah, I love people. Oh yeah. I mean, it just gets and I do love that. I love that so much. It makes you feel good when people feel like they can open up to you about that, and it's, you know, it's like sometimes I feel like I've gotten to the point. I was like, I should warn you, I am a songwriter. You know, it's like one of those deals. I was like, if you hear something that sounds like this, don't sue me. Thank you.
Yeah, and I will give you a new name, and maybe you want the new name. You know, Lisa's not a bad name. I'm just saying, it's not bad at all.
It's also two L's back to back, and I love stuff like that. When you can do that, Lisa's Lost, la 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 la, it's good.
But you do know that I personally, as a Lisa, I get lost all the time because I refuse to use GPS because it's annoying. and I like to be lost because you discover things unexpectedly. And I know it's not fun when you're on a way to an important meeting, so I know that's different. But even still,
it's not fun when somebody else gets you lost.
I don't.
You know,
I know it is because look at our friend Rondi who gets us lost on every hike we go.
I know. Well, that is fun.
That's funny.
But
even if it's life-threatening, it's
like
funny.
if your airplane decides to land in the wrong airport, that's not fun.
I don't know. There's always something cool about it later. There's always a cool story out of getting lost, no matter what.
I mean, everything that happens to people results in a story that could be well told later.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's life lessons, and there's just, I mean, either that or it's like a funny story. Really, all it is your mindset. Like, if you want something to be aggravating, you can be aggravated by it. But really, you know, everything happens for a reason. I believe that stuff anyway.
So
that's true.
So it sounds like you've got a life that you've had things happen, but you seem very calm, cool, collected. Where does that come from? Is that from going through things and then writing about them and singing about them, being on stage, you know, which will always, like, nothing goes, you know, even just doing radio shows, is it going to air? You know, you never know with technology. Where does your calmness and balance come from?
I think I haven't. I mean, you know, it could just be that it's a really good day too. I don't want to act like I'm like this all the time, but
it's happy hour.
that's what it is. It's just a happy hour, man. Y'all got me feeling good. But in all actuality, it's like there's been stuff that's happened that has been bad in my life, and so that's my jump off point every day for like, it's been worse, but today could be better. It's like one of those things, like I said, it's a mindset thing, and it could always be worse, and it's up to me to make it better a lot of the times, or, you know, make someone else's day better. Sometimes that just helps, you know, when you can make someone else smile or laugh or just anything like that. It's, I mean, we're all running the same race together. It's let's hold hands every once in a while, you know.
I love that because we're reflective, you know. So a smile,
Mm-hmm.
you smile at someone, most of the time you'll smile back, you know. And music, yeah. Well, I mean, no, it is. It's reflective. Energy bounces back.
You know what I find really interesting? Like when an animal shows their teeth, it's kind of like uh-oh.
Or a smile.
But when a human shows their teeth, it's a smile, sort of.
I don't know. Sometimes, you know.
Well, yeah, it depends on the setting too. If you're in like a bar setting and there's like a carnivorous male that's smiling at a female, you know, it could be yeah.
And they're breathing down your neck or looking down your shirt.
No, but it is funny.
No, thank you.
That the human thing, the smile. It, you know, somehow is like, okay, it's okay to talk to this person, but now when an animal smiles or shows teeth, you're like, I
don't know, because I have, you know, look at Frappy, Michael's dog, Frappy, like he does the teeth thing, and then you go, he's smiling, and then you go, not really. I don't know, and then he's smiling, and then I don't know. It's cool. It depends on the animal.
But it is interesting because we're talking about animals, mammals. You know, because I've never seen an insect smile.
Huh.
Because
you just haven't gotten close enough.
Yeah, listen, she has. Look, we lived in Africa, man. I can tell you, we've seen every snake and spider, scorpion. And we've done it, and we're here in Arizona and Sonoran Desert Land.
I'm going to pick up the last scorpion and go smile.
Well, no, a scorpion's not even an insect. It's an arachnid, isn't it? Because it's got 8 little thingies, 8 little legs.
I beg your pardon?
8 legs, yeah. You got stung by a scorpion here, and it was not pretty. It was not cool.
I stepped on him, so it was my fault.
But he stung her 3 times, and then I killed it, which I felt bad because I'm one of these people who don't want to kill anything, but it really got her. And I smashed it on the wall, and I was like, okay, every scorpion in this house, we had this house that basically was on a scorpion nest, and every day you'd wake up with a scorpion on your bed, and it's not cool at a certain point. You're like, this is not cool. So now, everybody, if you move into the Sonoran Desert or in the desert area, you have the right to, if you buy a house, rent a place, ask about if they have a scorpion thing. I just want to say this to everybody because this was the most miserable time of scorpions, and they hurt. And, you know, but when she got it, I just squished it on the wall, and I felt terrible, but I was so mad. We had been on the road. We just got home. I mean, we had been in a traffic jam for over 4 hours between San Diego and Tucson. By the time this happened, we're like, you've got to be kidding me. I squished that thing up on the wall, and I said to all scorpions, beware, you will be there too. Come see your dead friend and family member. You will be there too. And guess what? They did come out, and they kept coming out after us, so it doesn't matter. So it doesn't help.
That's the sequel. They come back for vengeance. I've seen that movie before. It didn't end well.
It doesn't. And then we moved. No, we left. Actually,
you have to make friends with them.
No, you don't have time. There were so many. I'm serious. Like every time you turned around, there's another one. In the monsoon season, here we come. It was like Stephen King could have done a novel.
No, but people eat lobster, and it looks like the same thing to me.
Oh man, well you know about scorpions. San Antonio, did you have scorpions around a lot?
Oh yeah, I used to. When I was a kid, actually, I was thinking. So we grew up on the outskirts of San Antonio. I wasn't a part of the city until I was probably in high school, but. Well, I used to wake up with these, like I thought, you know, you wake up and you're like, man, was I break dancing in my sleep or something like that? Your neck just hurts.
Yeah.
And,
no.
After like 3 days in a row, my dad went upstairs and pulled my cover back, and I had like been rolling over on like these baby scorpions were getting in there and stinging my neck in my sleep. Yeah.
No, dude. Okay, okay. So South Africa, we lived in this house, and I was about 11 years old. And this house was the coolest, like today. This is like the dream house ever. It used to be a nursery. This property had vegetable gardens. It had all these different, it was like these secret gardens everywhere. Bamboo at the bottom, but you had to go down all these steps to get, it was the most magical place ever. Nancy goes outside the house, and it looked like a house could have been in Hawaii, literally, with this lanai on the outside. She's out there, and we're both barefoot people. Even if you're out in the jungle, who cares? She's out there gardening. And next thing you know, I see her do the Irish jig across the lawn, and all these baby scorpions had crawled all over her. Mm. And it's like, you're not supposed to move, you're not supposed to do anything, but she did. She did like the dance, dude, to get them off.
I mean, that
was freaky.
Yeah, it's like if you're swimming and there's sharks, they say don't splash a lot. Well, I say, oh yeah.
I can't believe that you were sleeping with them, though. Dude.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Hey, they were sleeping with me. I wasn't sleeping with them.
Yeah, but if Thunder was there, that wouldn't have happened.
Oh, no, he just ate him. Or rolled over on him himself.
Or drooled on him.
He's a big guy.
Or drooled on him.
Yeah, he drowned him with his drool.
So I'm going to get us off of the scorpion conversation.
Yeah, really.
It's like, come on the show, talk about your music, but we're going to really talk about scorpions. But now, tell us a little bit about what's going on now. I was on your website today, and everyone, jeremy-parsons-music.com, go there, and there's also videos and stuff too, and photos of Thunder. Connect with him on Twitter and all those great places, and Facebook, so you can keep up with the music and the gigs. But you are busy. Like, there's a lot of gigs going on. Are you focusing more on Nashville? Are you going to be touring? What's going on with that? There's a lot of gigs.
Right. Yeah. I'm one of those people. I can't have much free time. Otherwise, I'll drive myself crazy. I like to work. It's what I'm here to do, and I love my job. So, yeah, I'm mainly focused on Nashville right now. Mm-hmm. But this summer, I'm looking to get out more and pick up some more dates. I'm talking to some people about making my way a little bit more north to Kentucky. And starting there, and then kind of spreading out. Might make the whole rounds here by the time the end of the year is closed out. So, and best advice is just keep checking back on the website, because I'll get all those dates up there as soon as I get them booked.
Well, we'll have to talk to Stephanie, who's on the show after you, from Springfield, Kentucky. I mean, she's in the center of bourbon, horses, and history, and that's where we're going. We're going to be going up through Natchez Trace this year. We're going to go through San Antonio, I think, and up into Louisiana, then up Natchez Trace. Our goal is to get to Springfield, because why not?
Because
it looks really
like
cool.
fun.
It's Abraham Lincoln's family's birthplace up there, and they have a cool theater and everything. Yeah, so like she's coming on after you, and Stephanie, listen, you need to get Jeremy in your theater. I'm just saying, because it'd be cool. But Kentucky, that's not that far from you. I mean, you can go all over. Do you ever go play in Memphis? Like, do you go back into like family land there?
I have. It's been a while right now, because I'm so I play probably right now. I play 4 to 6 nights a week in Nashville, so it's tough for me to even get out during the week. But I haven't been back in a couple of years, unfortunately. I need to make it back down there more.
Well, we've never been there. I've always wanted to go to Beale Street and all that, and I don't know if it's going to be the same as what you think of when you're a little kid reading about all the greats of Memphis. And I don't know, like, is it? You've been there more recent than I have. Am I going to? Please tell me I'm not going to be disappointed.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's kind of like one of those things. Like if you could imagine, have you ever been to New Orleans?
Oh yeah.
It's got a vibe like that. Like I don't think you're going to be disappointed at all. It's very fun. It's on the grow just like any city. So progress is a thing that happens.
Cool.
But it's that they do really good. Tennessee in general, I think, is really good about preserving historical things like that. And blues is such a big deal. And the birthplace of rock and roll, pretty much down there. So you got a lot of cool stuff to do between Sun Records and Elvis's house and all that stuff.
Well, that's an important thing to us. That's what we document when we travel, is places that have a sense of place and keep their history. And, yes, you have to have the Walmarts and the big box stores and everything, but you do it on a side where it doesn't affect the history of a place. And it usually is a downtown or you know what I mean? I know, Nancy, this is Nancy's big thing here, too, on that.
What?
Keeping sense of place. And
oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to travel and go from where I am and go to some place that looks exactly the same. Sense of place to me. I want to, travel's all about what's different, what's new.
Yeah.
Yeah, what makes this place the place? Yeah, that's what I like about this stuff
what's
too.
Special.
Yeah.
Okay. I was when you tuned to me and said that, I was thinking, I wanted to ask you, would you go on anything like The Voice or American Idol?
Personally, I don't. I've worked a lot of years developing myself as an artist, and I get emails from every season pretty much. It's like, hey, skip the lines, come, audition for The Voice. And I'm
cool.
Yeah, and a lot of the artists around here do, because if you have any type of like attention or buzz on you, they reach out because they want to use that attention or buzz.
Of course.
For their show and for their ratings. And to me, it's a.
Oh wow.
I have a lot of friends who have done it, and I've looked over the contract, and it just seems like another trap that they're putting on TV.
And you can get sucked into it for a while. I mean, that could be a while, and you're not doing gigs while it happens, which means when you come out, you've lost your momentum. With your audience and all that you built, even though you're on these millions of, we know bands too that have gone on there, and it was really cool to see them, and we tuned in just exactly that track, exactly we tuned in just to see them. I don't even want to give their names out because they did it, and then once they were done, they were like, it was a really great experience, but we're so glad to be back on the road. Thank you very much. We want to be in personal contact with our fans, and it was like a different experience, and I think everyone's got a different thing, but I love that you're staying true, and to me, I think your music, I'm excited about it, and I'm so glad that we know about you, and so that we can keep up with you, and hopefully when we come through your region on our way up to Springfield, Kentucky, that I keep saying Springfield because I think you should go there too. I've never been there, but I think you should, but that we get to actually see you at a gig somewhere, so we can see you perform live. That would be cool. Really
absolutely. Cool. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm usually playing, so it'd be probably harder to miss me than it would to not.
Yeah, cool. Right on. Now, Jeremy, it is that time, and I know we asked you about 1 hour walks, which is a similar question, but it is happy hour, so we get to play ding, 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 last call. Okay, so if you were going to spend happy hour with anyone alive or passed on or even fictional, quite frankly, it could be anybody, who would it be? Where are you spending happy hour? What are you drinking and what are you talking about? We want the full gossip, basically.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it. This is one of my favorite places, and this is probably really just low key and ridiculous, but I like. When I have a really good friend in town, and he filmed the Burn This House Down music video, and so he takes my pictures and everything. But we do these things called a Target Starbucks walk. We find a Target with a Starbucks in it, and we'll buy a coffee and take laps until we finish our drinks and just like catch up and talk about what we're doing. I would love to do one of those with a singer-songwriter, John Prine. He is like one of my favorite people that has ever lived, and I've been a huge fan of his music my entire life. But I think that would be like so fun to do with some like him as a person.
So I want to get this straight in my mind. You're walking inside a
no. With us, they get a cup of coffee. They walk laps until the coffee's done. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Inside of a Target, it's basically so you have like so many forms of scenery, like and you can just talk with your buddy.
That is awesome. So you understand really our 1 hour walk thing, then? That's cool.
Oh, I probably walk about 3 to 4 hours a day. As far as it is, I will park across if I have a day off or something. Even when I'm playing, though, I park like pretty much a mile away from the venue and walk with my guitar and backpack. It's very healthy for me. I have to have that, like, that's kind of like my vocal warm up in a way.
Man, I love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, we're we're building something really cool about getting people to walk, and I'll reach out when we do that, because you should be part of it, because it's also got to do with the creative arts and some foundations we work with. There's some stuff happening. That's all. I'm not allowed to say everything today.
Well, heck yeah, I'm totally in.
Okay, so when we come through Nashville, let's go for a walk. We'll do that.
Let's do it.
Do I have time for the tree exercise?
Oh, yeah. And
Okay. I think you would be one of the people who would actually do this.
If you don't do it already, yeah.
Yeah. The tree exercise is to find a tree that you like and get down on your hands and knees by it. Put your right hand on the trunk of the tree. Close your eyes and listen till you hear its heartbeat.
Oh, wow. Deal.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is. It takes a few times. Sometimes people get it right away, sometimes after, but you will be one with the tree and you're rooted to the ground. It's really cool.
And
you don't have to smoke anything to do it either.
No, you don't have to do anything. No, that's the beauty of it, that you don't need nothing, and you shouldn't. Don't mess with that. Be totally clean, everybody, to do this.
It's awesome.
And because it's such a beautiful, pure. It's pure. They've proven that human DNA has a percentage of tree DNA in us. So that's why it really works. And I didn't know all that. We didn't know all that. And it's just recent they found this, that we are part tree. So there you go.
Would that be called tree-na instead of
tree-na?
DNA?
I like that. Tree-na. Okay, there you go. That's your next song. Okay, so on that note, we have to play the Bluebird song, because it's just, I love this song so much. Why is the Bluebird blue? So we have to play it now. And everyone enjoy it, and go get the album out now. Go to jeremy-parsons-music.com. It's on iTunes, all those great places, and go to his website and go get it, because I love this. It is a great album called Things I Need to Say. Thank you so much for joining us, Jeremy. It's been such a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure, too. Thank y'all so much for having me. We got to do this again sometime.
Absolutely,
okay.
And we'll do it with a walk. We can do a walk in radio, too. Walking radio. That can happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Walkie-talkie. There you go.
Yeah, and we're going to have shoes on so we don't get the scorpions. I'm just
Yeah, there you go. Or glass, depending on if we're in the city or not, depending on where we are.
Yeah, but if you're in nature, you can go barefoot. It's cool to be nature.
Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome. Barefoot is cool. All right, here it is. Why is the Bluebird blue? Thank you so much, Jeremy. And I hope you do go into Kentucky, and I hope it all coincides at the time we're there.
That'd be awesome.
Ooh, me too. That would be too much fun.
That would be. All right, you take care. Thank you.
You too. Thank y'all.
Look out my window, what do I see? A little bluebird looking back at me. He sings a song all alone in his nest, and I wonder if he's singing about loneliness. I open my window and take it all in as I listen to a number by my new blue friend. Is he looking for a lover, or did one just leave? Does he really feel blue, or does his color deceive? Tell me, why is the bluebird blue? Is the song he sings a somber tune? Does he feel like I feel since I lost you? Tell me, why is the bluebird blue? A hummingbird don't hang around too long. A mockingbird makes a living off of other bird songs. And I heard somewhere that a robin weeps, but the bluebird is still one that I can't read. Tell me, why is the bluebird blue? Is the song he sings a somber tune? Does he feel like I feel since I lost you? Tell me, why is the bluebird blue? The bluebird's blue, but it's so in my hand. I feel about as low as the bluebird fly, he asks. Tell me, why is the bluebird blue? Is a song he sings a somber tune? Does he feel like I feel since I lost you? Tell me, why is the bluebird blue? Is a song